What's going on, guys? I'm Journey, back with a thoughts video, this time on Final Fantasy 9. FF9 is different for me, per se. It was the last Final Fantasy for the PS1 back in its day, and it was the end, for the most part, of the golden age, if you would. Because Square at the time, Squaresoft was putting out a lot of good stuff. That wasn't even just alone Final Fantasy. Chrono Cross, which so happens to be my favorite RPG of all time. So yeah, it was one of those things. It was one of those things. Now I would say this: I was pretty disappointed in this one. The reason being is because after 8, and 8 was amazing. 8 is my favorite. Period. After 8, I felt like I got a story, or I should say during 8, I felt like I got a story that was real. It was heartfelt. It was genuine. It was humans. It wasn't nothing crazy. And this one kind of went back to their old school stuff. And here, I knew from the fact, as soon as I saw a character like Zidane, I'm like, okay, I'm probably going out into, like, I'm probably from another world. I'm probably from like some other alternate dimension or some other nonsense, some weird garbage. I'm probably either manufactured or some other nonsense. It's just the way I like certain things. It's just because of the style of it. I just knew what I was getting into, and yeah, that's essentially what it was. Zidane ain't a bad character per se, but as always, I look at a character like Zidane, and I would say to myself, okay, who is he? What is he about? What about this story that develops him as he grows? And there's not much there, in my opinion. The only time I've seen him do any type of development is when he found out who he was. At that point, it's just natural response, and like he uplifts everybody else around him. But it's not like it's amazing advice. It's not like it's the best advice you'll ever hear. It's more because he's gotten around. Here's the thing, though. He's had a father figure, right? He's had in Baku, who is kind of like I guess the leader of their own little thieves guild, however they want to run it. And so he has a lot of his inspiration from that. He has his friends and stuff like that. So when he met someone like Garnet Steiner, they're very closed off to the world, their royalty. It is like their world is not the same, so they're very ignorant to it. And you know, as they go along through their stuff, they all make connections, and you meet more characters like Vivi, Vivi is nice. Vivi's a nice, wonderful character. A lot of people love Vivi because small and cute, harmless. But Quina is another one. It's just like she likes to eat. Her whole thing is about eating, which is pretty nice. I won't front. I think she had me cracking up a lot. So I like Quina. Ekio necessarily didn't care for. Amon didn't necessarily care for. Zidane himself I necessarily didn't care for. Steiner and Quina is where it's at for me. Who else is there? Freya is just like I get the story, and I understand it with that. You know, she lost her lover. She's pretty much basically been out trying to find him. It's just, oh yeah, you know, I get it, I understand. But I kind of get tired of these different kind of breeds of creatures. Like I said before, with Ekio, she's alone, and she's kind of lost her parents, and all she has around her is Maul. I get her. As soon as she saw the Zidane, she kind of went head over heels, and it's because, you know, finally she has somebody she felt as though she can reach towards. But it's hard. I mean, Kuja is no disrespect, but Kuja is like a character to me that made coming out like a coming out party, like before anybody else was doing it. Like, you know, he's a flamboyant kind of evil villain, right? He beautifies himself, and he loves a lot of things royalty, of the finer things in life. I can understand. Trust me, I can understand. But ultimately, he doesn't. I don't feel like at any point he's had his moments in the way how, let's say, Sephiroth had his moment when he killed Aerith. It was powerful. I don't think at this point this game even grabs anything of that. Even when 8 didn't really have anything of that nature, it was more about the romance between Squall and Rinoa. In this one, obviously they try to have enough with Zidane and Garnet, but man, it was just there was that a little bit of that thing lacking. Like, it's, as far as execution is concerned, it's like wonderfully done. It's just as far as the story is, it's just a step back. I felt like I've done it before. I've been here before. I've seen it before. I think that's where it kind of lost me. Gameplay wise, is exceptional. Same as you always known it from being turn based. You select whatever action you want, and you'll watch it unfold. This one, however, allows you to equip items that have hidden, I shouldn't say call them hidden, but they have items that you can put on that have other properties associated to it. That would be where your skills would be: shell, reflect, flee, a whole bunch of other things that they got that you know from Final Fantasy. That's what's there. You equip them. You keep using the items. You'll gain points after battles, and when that fills up, you have the skill permanently. Now you can move on to the next piece of armor equipment. They're all over. They're on your weapons. They're on your head slot. They're on your chest piece. They're on your accessory piece. So there you go. But it just doesn't feel like it evolved to me. There's also the trance ability, which during my playthrough I didn't care for. Still don't care for it. The more you take the more you take damage, your transmeter will go up, and when your transmeter go up, your characters will go through a little bit of a visual change. They'll gain more power, and it opens the door for more skills and other things that you can use to decimate your enemies. But the issue with it is, after the battle is done, I can't select my own trance when I want to, meaning I can't save it for a boss battle. So I have to try to pick and choose, or at least try to manipulate a battle, so that way I can get my trance to come when I go into a boss battle, because that's what's going to shine the most. It's not. It's just one of those things that just kind of turned me off. One of the things that turned me off was Steiner's ultimate weapon, which is the Excalibur 2. You can't get it unless you get towards the end of the game within 12 hours or something like that. I knew that was a thing back in the day, and even with the remake, well, I shouldn't say remake, but the remaster version that's on PC and other places, it's just no. I didn't care for doing. I never cared for doing that. I don't believe in that. I believe if you want to have your ultimate weapons, have it a lot behind the crafting system like you do in 8, or even better, you can just put it behind an optional boss, just more things for the player to do. That's what I always felt, and I still believe in that. I just can't. The music, though, is still amazing. I enjoy it. If I would have to rank this, as far as being where my Final Fantasies is at, I'm honestly going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this. I don't think this is better than 2 at all. I actually like 2 more. If I would have to really go currently right now where I'm at, I'm thinking 8, 10, 3. Damn, it's so much. Maybe I'll look at 6. I'll look at 7 before this. Yeah, like I don't think this crap my top 5. Zidane is to me, he's a pretty weak main character. I think because of what Squall, how real he was, and the way, especially as his trajectory was going and where he ended up, it's just so much better. Because with a character like Zidane, I can't necessarily, like, you see him and he's fine, but he's always fine. And even when he's down, he just ends up coming back, and it's just kind of like no different from when he was. It's the same. It don't feel like there's this natural growth that's happening with him and everybody else around him. And Dagger's fine. She's something. And she becomes more and more independent, but she does rely on folks. She is okay. She's okay. She's not really special. She's not a Rinoa. She doesn't really impact the story in a way where she feels as though, you have to pay attention to her. She doesn't leave an impact like an Aerith, in my personal opinion. It does. She doesn't feel like a Celeste, which is I love that woman. I love that woman. I'm sorry. Heck, I think even Rosa takes the cake. Takes the cake over her. Rydia, I take me some Rydia. I felt like it was a step back. I just feel like it was a step back. So yeah, that's how I feel about Final Fantasy 9. Man, these journey pages going like crazy. There's still more to go, but real talk. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.